My name is Paul Gordon Chandler, and as the president of Caravan, I'd like to warmly welcome all of you this evening to the London opening of the Key, which is the 2016 Caravan Exhibition of Art. It's a real privilege and an honor for us to have you here this evening. I have spent the majority of my life as a Westerner within an Islamic context, much of it in the Middle East and North Africa, and quite recently 10 years in Egypt. And it seems to me that the gap of misunderstanding and trust and relationship between the Middle East and the West, and certainly between their creeds, is wider and greater than ever. And the media hype, stereotypes, fear-mongering, mistruths that are told, of course, they only widen the divide. And at Caravan, we profoundly believe that actually something has to change. It shouldn't be this way. For the great paradox is that we actually are all quite similar. We're not all that different. Whether Egyptian or European or American or Christian or Muslim or Arab or Western. I love the way, and to lighten it up a little bit, I love the way Sting sees it. Regardless of our ideology, we all have the same biology, and how true that is. And hence, now more than ever, creative demonstrations of dialogue and peace building and friendship are needed, with the goal not just of more dialogue, but something far deeper, which requires the investment of ourself in the other, intercultural and interfaith friendships. And having spent most of my life within an Islamic context, obviously my closest friends are Muslim, and the only people I know, without even thinking twice, would step in front of a car for me, in other words, give their life for me, are my Muslim brothers and sisters. That's how tight the relationship is. Maybe with the exception of my family on a good day, I should say. So I'm talking about the necessity of looking at and journeying through life together. Together, together, together. And at a time when this kind of tension exists in our world, Caravan believes that the arts actually play a very important role in bringing about change. Because art is this kind of universal language that has the ability to dissolve the differences that divide us, whether through film or music or literature or design or theater, or like tonight, visual art. We profoundly believe that the arts can be one of the most effective mediums to enhance understanding, to bring about respect, to enable sharing, and to deepen friendship between those of different faiths and cultures. And these art events actually become encounter points, bringing people together that would normally never come together. As Ramses Yunan, the late renowned Egyptian surrealist painter, said so profoundly, art is a means, yes, a means for destroying our way of thinking and behaving. Because the aim of art is always higher than art. It can help us see someone different than ourselves for whom they really are, but they're actually like us. As that profound mystic, poet, and artist from Lebanon, Khalil Gibran, said, "Your neighbor is your other self dwelling behind a wall. In understanding, all walls fall down." We're all beautifully intertwined, whether we know it or not. In my own country, for example, when certain individuals, nameless this evening, are calling for a ban on Muslims entering the country, so few of those same people who endorse that know the unique history of the Statue of Liberty, which is really one of the most popular pieces of art in the United States. Stands, of course, at the country's entrance. The statue has become a symbol of America. The original design, though, was meant for placement at the mouth of the Suez Canal, and it was to be titled "Egypt Carrying the Light to Asia." And it was meant to be a robed woman representing Egypt. But due to the lack of funding, and art always has struggles with lack of funding, as you know, the design was slightly changed, and it was built in New York City in the 1880s. And what people don't know is that this supreme American iconic symbol was modeled on an Egyptian face And so when you think about it, it's an Egyptian holding the light, the torch of welcome, into the United States. We are truly inseparable. And that's why Caravan was started in 2009 as an international peace-building arts NGO that focuses on building bridges through the arts between the creeds and cultures of the Middle East and West. And every year we hold an annual Caravan Exhibition of Art. It's a unique art program that brings together many of the Middle East and West premier and emerging artists. It always starts somewhere in the Middle East, and then it caravans west to Europe, and then on to North America. And these exhibitions have resulted in extraordinary gatherings. And this year, Caravan is honored to host the Key, as you see around you, the strategic East-West peace-building art exhibition that seeks to change perceptions and speak directly to the global unconscious. The Key uses the world's most ancient symbol of harmony. It's actually quite known in the West, but very few, of course, understand its origin. The Ankh, known often as the Key of Life, as was just mentioned, and it serves tonight as a canvas, if you will, for a contemporary message of hope for a harmonious, peaceful, and a tolerant world. As you are aware, it's the hieroglyph that simply read the word life, symbolized in ancient Egypt what everyone has in common. And over the millennia, this ancient symbol has been adopted and modified by many cultures and religions around the world. I grew up in Senegal, West Africa, and we have something called the Croix d'Agadez, which of course originally comes from the Ankh. But it's a recognized symbol today of pluralism and the acceptance of diversity, tolerance of diversity. The Key exhibition is about uniting people of different backgrounds by highlighting how peaceful coexistence was once possible, and despite all the current misunderstandings that exist, and my, do they exist, it can be once again. Designed to grab the imaginations, and I trust that you'll go through and visit each one, they seek to inspire its viewers to play a part in shaping our world into one where understanding and compassion are valued above all else. Showcasing the work of 40 premier and emerging Egyptian, Middle Eastern, and Western artists, the Key is a traveling exhibition. It opened last March in Cairo on the banks of the Nile. We'll be here in London now through the 15th of August, and then it travels, it caravans on to North America, to New York City, where it will be exhibited at Riverside Cathedral, that marvelous structure built by Rockefeller. All of the work is for sale this evening, and throughout the course of the exhibition, with 30% of the proceeds going to this marvelous NGO that assists and provides an education for some of the poorest children in Cairo, Egypt. The NGO is called Educate Me, and there's a little information on it in the back. Price list exists throughout, and at the two tables where you got your program and your catalog, they have a listing also of the price list and of how to purchase. It's a marvelous opportunity to not only purchase a brilliant work of art, but also assist and give a future to those that perhaps wouldn't have one in the same way. In closing, I think that the heart of the Key is perhaps best summed up by an image of a mosaic. And as you visit the exhibition, you'll see that a number of artists have actually utilized the mosaic genre on their ankhs. At Caravan, we like to see the world as this, for lack of a better term, a beautiful divine mosaic, with each little chip, each little piece being a different cultural or religious expression, or faith, or nationality. And it's only when all of these diverse pieces are put together that our lives actually can be made most whole. For it's only in the continual learning of those different than ourselves that we can be made most complete. And when all of the pieces of that divine mosaic are put together, what an image it is, with the fullest and the brightest and the richest and the most striking of colors. There's nothing like it. No work of art actually can compare to that image, because you could say in many ways that that is the art of God. Thank you.